Welcome back to another episode of Winging It Waterfowl. I'm your host, Troy Miller, and with me as always is my co-host, Blake Horton. This is episode 34. I'm glad to be back. Sorry about missing out on the last one for all you folks. And I do apologize about the little bit of audio issues we had. I've cleaned it up best I could. Not sure where that echo was coming from, but this we got it. We'll be doing a lot better going forward. I think we're finally out of our month-long slump we've had of guest issues, technical issues, recording issues, just all the issues. I was talking to Dylan earlier today, and he's like, it's better to have these issues now than when we get up and rolling during the season. I was like, well, that is fair. There's always a silver lining.
Yeah.
So appreciate everyone sticking with us through our growing pains. But we got an awesome episode this week. We had Hunter Stanley from the Hunt Digest. Had a great talk with him. We had him scheduled, 2-3 weeks ago, and he had us a family emergency and last minute didn't get to make it. So very excited that we were able to make that reschedule happen and get to talk to him. So we had a good conversation with him. It was a lot of fun talking to him, learning about his journey into waterfowl and hunting in general, and his days of guiding and everything else, and kind of the backstory of how he got started with his online magazine project he's working on.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, if y'all haven't checked out any of his stuff, y'all need to go check him out. He puts some time and effort into it. It's not just something he just throws together and throws online. I mean, he spends the time and effort to go in and do his research and kind of go over what people send him and make it look good and make their story look good. I mean, that's what he's all about. He's very genuine hunter, to say the least, and just a guy in general. So,
yes, sir. And I'm someone who always loved reading like Field and Stream and all the other magazines growing up.
Yeah.
I had so many magazines. I still do. I mean, I read all the articles in Ducks Unlimited, all that. I really enjoy those. So seeing someone that takes the time to put the stories in, and keep those going, it's a really awesome project he's got going, and I see a bright future ahead for him. And he was just a great guy to talk to. But yeah, I think everyone will enjoy that. It was a good record, and I'm hoping it'll be a good listen for all y'all.
Yeah.
In other news, you're back home.
Yeah, I'm home, but a little banged up.
We're both laid up on light duty this week.
What did Dylan say of the? Oh, I can't remember what he said. He told you earlier.
Crippled up crew or something like that.
The crippled up weekly waterfowl crew. I hurt my leg out on a deployment, so I'm in a brace and crutches. And Troy tried to knock out a wind turbine with his hand and decided the wind turbine was going to win this one.
Yeah. I'm pretty tough, but it's tougher. Hey, even with a jacked up hand, I got the job done.
Yeah.
Spent another 45 minutes finishing the job, so who really won?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm light dutied for the next 2 weeks, so, and you're off for at least a week.
At least a week. Yep. So
we're just falling apart here.
Man,
yep. Mid 30s is not being nice to us.
Oh man. I hit 34 and I just can't even
fall apart,
man.
I wonder if
it's better. It's better now before season, though.
Yeah, I wonder if it's too late to get a refund.
I don't know, man.
But
the good thing is we secured our housing for Nebraska.
Yes,
today. So
we got that figured out. We also discussed, which we got to discuss with Addison and Roscoe. We got to all get together, do a little more planning on that. There's a lot that goes into this, as we've discussed on prior episodes and stuff before, but we have a much better idea this year, as me and Blake were talking about earlier, that not that last year was bad by any means, but we're going to what we think is going to be a more optimum time, and we're going to be able to streamline a little bit. We think of stuff that we took that we didn't need and stuff that we needed we didn't take. So
Oh yeah.
the planning and grind never stops. It may slow
Nope.
down, but it never stops. So, also something exciting. Now don't hold your breath for this, but we got the intro, I think, kind of polished off
Yeah.
and got that written out, kind of ran it by, our crew. And then I also ran it by Dylan to get some outside influence and input on it to see what he thought. And he gave us some useful changes, and you made some useful changes to it. Something I've been working on for a while. And I think we finally got it polished off and kind of got the right sound for what we want for the show and what we think everyone will enjoy. And hopefully
we'll be in studios next week. We'll have it back in about 12 days.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have that here in the next 2 or 3 episodes. Like I said, don't hold your breath. Yeah. This is something that's been in the works for a long time, and then just every time we kind of get to working on it, gets pushed to the back burner for something else. But I think we're on the home stretch with this thing here.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be 3 minutes of sound music that I spent 3 hours working on with my wife in the very beginning. It was a good idea, but I can see how it was long-winded. So I think this is something that everyone will enjoy and really kind of captures the essence and spirit of our show. Yep. So that'll be hopefully, like I said, next 2 or 3 episodes, we'll be launching that. So looking forward to that. And then, if you haven't, speaking of Dylan, he was actually on Migration Waterfowl. So if y'all don't listen to him, go check that out. It was a great episode to listen to Dylan and kind of get to sit back and listen to him talk and stuff like that, because we get caught up with him talking on the episodes we've had him on, and then just our everyday life of talking to him. And so it's nice to hear someone else get to speak with such a great guy and kind of put his name out there on a bigger platform and hopefully get some traction going for his business. And that,
I do got something.
You want to show it off?
The turkey tote came in. I did tell him, I said, well, this could be more than a turkey tote. Probably I'm going to start hanging some coyotes and some foxes and some predator shooting too. So
what do you think of that bio thing, since this is your first bio thing product?
This stuff is nice. It's strong. It is all there. I'm really looking forward to it. I got some ideas with our new boats with this now after seeing it. So we're going to see. I'm going to test a couple things, and I'm going to have Dylan probably build us some things. But
yeah,
I got some ideas we'll go look at. But
some prototype stuff, maybe.
I know everybody's started turkey season. There's about to, but don't forget he has those turkey totes.
Yes,
on his website.
He was talking about a giveaway, so go check that out. I think you get entered. First 20 customers that purchase one of his turkey totes get put into a drawing. Don't quote me, I should have checked beforehand, but I do not remember what that drawing was. And he's kind of collaborated with Big River Ammunition, and both of them are partners with us on the show. So go definitely check them out. Get your turkey loads from Big River Ammunition and get your turkey tote from TFS Cable Works.
And then get your ammo from that Big River Ammunition.
Oh, sorry, did I mess that up?
He said totes. You're good.
Get that working man load.
That working man load, I'm going to tell y'all now, it's nice. I've seen the patterns. I've personally seen the patterns, and it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, I think everyone ought to go check them out at least. And for Big River Ammunition, you spend $100 or more, and you're going to get free shipping if you use code WINGINIT. And that kind of lets him know we heard about from us, helps you out get some free shipping, and helps him out with selling some product. And then if you check out TFS and order some turkey totes, they do have, I think, some coyote straps, dog collars and leashes. I have the dog collar and leash, and I absolutely love it. Lanyards, you name it, he's got it, and he's got something new coming out all the time. He is always looking to build something new, better, and brighter. So go over and check out his stuff and any of his handmade products, biothane, cable, any of that he works on and personally makes. You're going to get 10% off with Winging It 10.
Yeah.
Or is it Winging It 10?
I think it's 20.
It is 20. Yeah,
It is
it's
20.
20%
Yeah.
off. Winging it 20. So that helps both those guys out, and they're great. And then um, if you go check out Dust Bowl Falco on the lanyards, order any of his in stock stuff from him of his lanyards, you're going to get 10% off there if you use code Winging It also.
Yep.
So go check out all those guys. Great crew that we've got of friends and partners for this show. So, um, without anything else, did you want to hit on anything before we jump into this episode?
Man, I don't think so. I think if y'all kind of just get to listen to the episode, you're going to really enjoy it. It's a good episode. It was a great record. It was nice to be able to talk to him. I mean, we got to do a lot of joking around and everything else. So it was a good record.
Yeah. And with that, make sure if you haven't heard or haven't subscribed, go check out wherever you listen to us. Just make sure and give us a like, follow, subscribe. Go check out our YouTube. I post all the video format on there. We've had some issues with Spotify, and it won't allow me as of right now. I'm in the works of trying to get that figured out, but it will not allow me to automatically post the video to Spotify any longer since we migrated to off there because I was not getting good results from analytics and everything else. I was having a lot of issues. So I migrated our hosting to another website. Actually, this website for Riverside where we record at makes it a lot easier on my end, a lot cleaner. But if you haven't noticed, you're not getting the video immediately on Spotify. And I'm working to remedy that. But in the meantime, go check out the YouTube because every single one of them are on there. And that is immediately uploaded as soon as I put it out. It's on YouTube. So make sure to let everyone know about us. Check out our Instagram, our TikTok, YouTube, and wherever else you listen to your podcasts. And if there's somewhere that you want that someone says, hey, I can't find them, let me know and I will look into it and get us on there as well. So without further ado, we will jump into it and get into episode 34. I think you're all going to have a great time listening. Welcome back to another episode of Winging It Waterfowl. With us tonight, we have a very special guest, Hunter Stanley. How are you doing this evening?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Glad to have you on. Why don't we go ahead and get started and you kind of introduce yourself to everyone who you are, what you got going on.
Yeah, like you said, my name's Hunter Stanley. I'm the founder of Hunt Digest. Pretty much what we have going on right now is my goal is to capture people's stories. I feel like, there's been a part of the industry that gets caught up in, how pictures look, and pictures are the end all be all. I want to hear how they got there, or how they got to that point of taking that picture. The pictures are so cool. It's so cool to see people's pictures, but the stories behind them. Growing up in deer camp and duck camp, getting to hear those stories from my dad and my grandpa, it's those things make you who you are. So getting to hear those stories from other people and other people's impactful words is really nice to hear. That's what mainly we have going on right now.
That's great. It's kind of the, I guess, area that we're in as well. We like to hear kind of how everyone got started into it.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, kind of give us a little background on you and, maybe who got you into hunting, how your raising came with hunting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
To this point.
I grew up, my whole family hunted. My dad's side of the family hunted. I didn't, get super into it at first. Obviously, I went with my dad, and I thought it was cool. It was a cool thing to do with dad. But once I got really into it, I was hooked. That the first deer I killed with my dad, it just kind of clicked. It was kind of like, this is something I want to do. I had such an appreciation for the animal on my first one that it's something kind of just clicked in my head. Like, this is what I want to be around and base my values off of. And a lot of the values I do get is from hunting. From there, I just kind of started doing different, types of hunting. Mainly deer hunted growing up, but in high school, a couple buddies got me into duck hunting, and then that pretty much consumed my life since then. Once I got out of high school, I actually guided for a guide service out in Oklahoma called Crash Landing Outdoors. I guided for them for a few years and still work with them really closely. Archie Bradley and Mac Monkton are the owners of that. Anyone should go check them out. They're awesome. Best guide service in Oklahoma. But that taught me another appreciation for hunting. That taught me the work side of the hunting industry and showed me it's not always just fun and games when it comes to hunting, especially in the guide service side. That's kind of where my hunting roots came from. Yeah, I I learned from family figures of mine, and that's how I really grew into loving the sport.
Awesome. Now, where did you grow up at? What area of the country?
Oklahoma is where I grew up at. Tulsa, Oklahoma is my is home base. I'm in Russellville, Arkansas now, where I work. But yeah, all my hunting is 99% been in Oklahoma.
Oh, great. Yeah, my wife's family that's kind of where she grew up at was
Oh, okay.
Collinsville up in that area.
Oh, yes. Yeah, very familiar with that area.
I've not spent much time up there myself, but
It's Collinsville. It's a great city. It's a great city.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
There. I have been to Tulsa, through Tulsa a few times, and every time I've gone through there, it has just been a horrendous nightmare of traffic and road construction. And
Yeah.
I think I had just gotten my license, and my parents were like, "You're going to drive through Tulsa on the way to Missouri," and I was like, "I'm never driving through here if I have a choice ever again." So
Hey,
I've kinda
we got
sworn
them
that
tolls,
area
but we don't
off.
really use it on. We have a lot of tolls, but we don't really use it on our roads in Oklahoma. We just use it for whatever we want, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I've
But
never understood
I
where
mean,
that
the
money
roads are
goes to.
The roads are terrible. There's construction
Yeah.
everywhere.
I
I
don't know. Have
mean,
you ever
and
been to Louisiana?
yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of
Our
construction in
roads aren't very
Louisiana
good
too.
either.
No, we went down to Thibodeau one time, and
Ah, yeah,
there was a lot of construction down through there.
our roads are about like driving through Oklahoma City.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm
Yeah, I've
good.
never
Stick to the
understood.
east side
I
of the
mean,
state.
with spending most of my life in Texas, I'm like, can you not add an extra couple inches outside the white lines and stuff
No,
like that? I mean,
too much
it's
money.
it can't be saving you that much money from every
I
state
don't really
around
know.
except for
I don't know
Texas.
what their priorities are right now because they just put in a musical road on Route 66 in Tulsa. So when you drive over
I
it,
just
it
saw that.
plays. I don't even remember the song. America. I can't remember the song, but if you drive over it, it plays you a song if you go a certain speed. But so we got that now. So that's cool, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to
getting
see
there.
they're spending some of the money on something.
Hey, something.
I just thought they were investing in road cones, if I was being honest.
They might be too. An asphalt
So,
repair, I guess.
kind of
Just little
now,
patches.
yeah, yeah, the tampers.
Yeah.
Now, with your hunting now, are you doing mostly deer and waterfowl, or have you kind of branched out since starting with those?
I do pretty much a bit of everything now. I'm obsessed with turkey hunting now. I'm ate up with it. I'm mostly duck hunting. I will say I duck hunt more than anything, just because I'm very blessed enough to have places I can hunt. Some of my family's from Arkansas, and they have a duck hunting place here in Arkansas. So I get to go there, and then my connects through Crash Landing. I've been able to hunt some of the very premier places, in the country, and I'm ate up with it. Everything about duck hunting is kind of where my head's at. Now turkey hunting, I love turkey hunting, so I can't really say anything. But yeah, I would say I mostly duck hunt. I do deer hunt a lot too. Like, so I'm very blessed with some of the places I get to hunt, and I have some property up in Kansas that we deer hunt. So I kind of go all over to hunt, which is nice, and kind of get some different experiences in different places. I just overall, just the hunting in general, I'm just ate up with it. Any type of hunting. I recently just got into predator hunting, and that's been really fun. Not for my wallet, but it's been really fun getting into that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one's kind of up there with duck hunting. It's a lot of money real quick once it gets its hooks in you.
Yeah, it's as soon as I shot for my first coyote with a thermal, and I was like, oh, it got me. It got me.
Yeah. Now, what kind of hunting are you doing for waterfowl? Are you mostly lakes, rivers, marshes, flooded timber? What
So
kind of
most
your bread and butter?
it depends. So like growing when I first started duck hunting, a lot of it was WMAs around the Tulsa area. So Lake Eufaula, Deep Fork Reservation, a lot of public hunters know that place in Oklahoma. It's pretty popular. It's flooded timber. The Doctor Duck guys hunt there a lot. 24/7 hunts there a lot. A lot of guys have property around that area, around that WMA, on the river. So flooded timber to start, and then once you get out west of western Oklahoma where I guided, it's all cattle ponds and field hunts. So cattle ponds when it's warm enough for the water not to freeze, and fields when it's frozen. So I a little bit of everything. When I come over to Arkansas, it's flooded millet and flooded milo. So I've dabbled in a little bit of everything, but it is hard to beat watching ducks come through the timber though.
Yes, sir. Now, what kind of moved you into wanting to start with Hunt Digest?
Yeah, a, a huge inspiration of mine so far that's been, Hunt Illustrated. He started his own thing a while ago, and I got the chance to meet him during dove season this year, and we talked, and he has an amazing idea, and I just kind of I was like, what's another magazine hurt? So and he does primarily pictures, and what he does is awesome. And I was like, well, I want to dive into primarily stories. So kind of, I wouldn't say he was an inspiration of like getting into the hunting stuff. Another guy was a huge inspiration for me to take a dive into something I was interested in was Ed Wall. He's been a huge inspiration for me, the camera guy. Watching his passion for camera work has given me the passion for what I do with Hunt Digest. Connecting with people, meeting people, all different kinds of people across the country, hearing people's stories. Hearing how other people hunt around the United States, it's pretty amazing. It's been a very humbling experience for me. Getting to just know what it's like everywhere else. I'm very blessed to grow up in a part of the country where hunting is the norm. So hearing people's stories, out west in California and things like that, where they have to go the extra mile to get a hunt in is it's very it makes me very blessed to get to do what I do with Hunt Digest and get those stories from them.
Yes, sir, and I can agree with you. That's something that we can appreciate as well. Just from the people that we've talked to all over, the similarities and the differences are both just equally awesome to hear
100%.
about.
Yes.
Now, was getting to talk to him kind of what made you finally pull the trigger on this project?
I've messed around with a few different Instagrams for the past 3 or 4 years, different names, and I never could find something that I was like I ever put enough time into to make it think it was worth it in my head. Um, I've always been a very busy person. I like to do a lot of things. Before my job now, I was teaching and playing professional golf, so it was I'm very once I get into something, I kind of just very passionate about it. So when the Hunt Digest thing kind of clicked, I definitely had to find my niche with doing it. But yeah, he was definitely a push to start it. Seeing how much traction he gained from the first year of him starting his page, definitely gave me a push to be like, okay, you know, we someone anyone can, if they put enough time into something, can achieve certain statistics or goals they want with a page. Or if it's all about quantity and quality. There's a lot of people putting out a lot of quantity but not very much quality. So my goal is quantity and quality with my work.
Yes, sir. Now, with the projects that you've been working on, is there any direction that you kind of feel yourself leaning in the hunting industry, like towards like maybe big game or waterfowl or migratory or upland, anything like that you kind of feel that maybe you're leaning towards? Or are you going to try to keep it kind of an even spread?
I'd like to keep it an even spread. Because like I said, hearing the stories from across the country, not everyone can do the same type of hunting. So I have a website now. I posted my first article over Quack Shack probably last month.
Mhm.
I interviewed Austin from Quack Shack, and great guy, and getting some insight from them on how they've built some of their stuff. And I started my website. I have pages for like predator hunting, I have ducks, whitetails, big game. Camaraderie. That's another big one for me. Is like when people send me pictures, it doesn't have to be of you guys hunting. Like I have multiple pictures on my page of just like sitting around a dinner table at deer camp, and there's like they're all playing cards or something. To me, the Hunt Digest isn't just about the kill, the kill. I want to see the behind the scenes, the pictures of you know. I have one going up this week of a grandpa walking his granddaughter to the stand for the first time. So things like that, it's I'd like to keep it broad, just because if I could focus on just duck hunting or things like that, but the people I get to reach kind of makes me second guess wanting to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Now,
probably one of the best parts of it too. Is just like just looking through your pages. You don't sit there and look at just one thing. You get to look at everything. I mean, you look at all these different people and these different
Yeah,
aspects of their life of how they hunt or they're playing. Like you talking about playing the cards. I mean, we're me and Troy, like we've talked about this before. We're not all about the pile picks. It's more about the time we spend with each other and the I guess the glory of it all. I mean, that's what we enjoy. I mean, we love shooting birds. I mean, everybody does when we go duck hunt or when we go deer hunt. We love getting the kill, but we also love getting to spend time. I mean, that's what it's all about more than the kill. So,
yeah, that's just being in the woods. I don't even have to be hunting. Just being in the outdoors is something I feel like we take for granted, especially now. I say nowadays, like I'm a very young person, but like just even seeing people my age, um, there's a lack of appreciation for the outdoors, and I feel like now, especially, we're seeing a slow push of it coming back.
mm-hmm.
And it's very glad to see. And if Hunt Digest can help that in any way possible, that's something I strive for.
Yeah. And one thing I love, kind of the area that you've been able to focus on with the story kind of stuff is, you were talking about like deer camp and stuff like that. Like we grew up deer hunting, but that was just, you go out to family property, where we grew up at, it's get up early in the morning, go sit in your stand or go wherever, go sit in some brush and you wait, and then you go back home. And me and Blake hunted together, deer hunting and stuff like that, but it's always been solitary, and there was no deer camp afterwards, like, oh, you go home. So it's always intrigued me, kind of that lifestyle of that hunting lifestyle that we missed out on, that just love hearing about from other regions of the country, because that's just awesome.
Yeah, it's a tradition every year. Opening weekend of rifle season, I'm with. It's been the same four people now, five. Well, now five that my uncle had a kid, but he's not old enough to hunt yet. But it's me, my dad, my grandpa, and my uncle, and I'm really the only one that. I mean, my dad hunts, but like in the place where the property is, there's not mega deer, but it's just the fact that we have a consistent schedule of this is when we can all get together, and that's never changed.
Hmm.
And the traditions we have, like we have it's got to be definitely past statute of limitations, but we have a super old hunter check station sign from way long ago. It says Oklahoma Hunters Check Station, and every year, as soon as I pull up, that's the first thing I do is I put it out in the front. And then after that morning hunt, all my grandpa's friends from around, come over and hang out, sit around the fire, BS, maybe do some work around the place, and then about 2 o'clock, it's time to head to the woods again. And it's only a Friday, you're only hunting Saturday morning, Saturday evening, and Sunday morning, and then you got to go home. But it's something I definitely took for granted a couple years in my teenage years, like, oh, I gotta go deer camp this year, like. But looking back, it's something I would never miss.
Yes, sir.
yeah, it's like that in Louisiana. That's one thing I've learned because I mean, like I grew up with Troy in the Panhandle, like you said, and I moved to Louisiana with my wife, and there's a group of a family that go to government land and they live at deer camp throughout the whole season.
Yeah, it's
And I
it's
mean,
it's it's
it's
awesome.
crazy because you get. I mean, we'll go out there in the middle of the week, go eat supper with them, and it's just everybody sitting around the campfire eating together. And I'm like, man, if I had this growing up, there's no way I would have the job. I'd end up just living out here forever. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's so awesome. Like in Arkansas, and like in Arkansas here, like a big thing is running dogs, like deer hunting with dogs. And so opening morning of when they can run
Oh
dogs,
yeah.
that's all you hear across government land is
Oh,
those
I
dogs.
wish we could run them in the government land.
I have my like I've never done it, so I can't say I like it or don't like it, but it's definitely it takes a different breed to want to do that all the time.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, Louisiana's pretty thick. I mean, you've been in Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife told me, she's like, "Hey, you're gonna go run dogs with my dad." I'm like, "We're gonna do what?" And she told me, she's like, "You're gonna go run dogs with my dad." I'm like, "Okay." And that first time we went, I mean, there were the little trucks running around trying to chase these deer down, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. I mean, I love it. I do it now with them because I
Mhm.
live there, but it's just something I'm like, I ain't gonna like this. I don't know why you want me to go do this but it's something I fell in love with. I told Troy, I'm like, you got to come run dogs with us.
Like I've just never done it, so I can't say I've gotten into it, but like I see how much joy it brings some people. But man, and I will say those people that run those dogs, they're not shy with their dogs either. If they mess up, they'll tell them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's something that Blake's told me about. I'm like, it sounds interesting, but I'm just not sold on it yet. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to be one of those
it's
guys that I have to experience it before I can
it's
fully invest myself into
it's
it.
tough. Like I've hunted with dogs, like rabbit hunting and stuff, and things like that, and like I I want to say I'd love to get into it, but I haven't had anybody just come hollering at my name to come get me to do it, so I haven't really gotten into it.
Yeah, that's one thing Blake and I have talked about with a bunch of people like from Arkansas and other places like that. Like rabbit and squirrel hunting's big, and
It
where we're from,
yeah,
there aren't any
that's
trees, so
yeah, that's the first thing I kind of hunting really I got into. Like I got my first gun ever was a little Browning 22 octagon barrel, and you load the bullets in the butt of the stock. And I remember I killed that first squirrel, and then my grandpa taught me how to clean it, and we ate it. And I was like, are you sure this is gonna be good? And I mean, it's good. Hey, rabbit might be some of the best meat there
I
is.
just had this discussion with my kids the other day. I was like, we need to make rabbit stew or something like that.
It's
He's like, oh, you make
unbelievable.
rabbit stew? I was like, I've actually
It's
never made rabbit
unbelievable.
stew, but I do love like smoked and grilled rabbit. I've
Yeah,
made it
it's
wild jackrabbit, not great. It's you gotta add some
yeah.
fat and stuff to it.
Cottontail and swamp
Cottontail,
rabbits are pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah,
cottontail's good. And
that's
then I've had like like the farm raised meat rabbits even are good too.
yeah. We used to raise some and eat them, but yeah, I like them.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the difference with. I mean, where we grew up compared to where most people did. There's no squirrel season where Troy lives, so you can shoot squirrels year round, and no
Oh,
one's gonna care.
I
And
didn't even, when you're younger, I didn't even think like there's a squirrel season. And then when I was old enough, I was like, oh, there definitely is a squirrel season.
yeah.
yeah,
Oops.
There's no
and
rabbit season. There's no squirrel season. They're all considered,
no,
nuisance or
Yeah, I mean,
pest
I
or,
was
whatever.
terrorizing the county with my Red Ryder growing up, and I
Oh
didn't even
yeah.
know.
I shot so many
So
rabbits
many.
with the Daisy or, Red
I
Rider,
mean, half the
whatever.
time it just bounced off of them, but it'll work
It's like,
sometimes.
oh, 10 pumps. I bet we can get 15 and take down a rabbit. But yeah, it's always interesting to hear about that. Like so many people get into it. I'm like, I mean, I want to go do it, but like legitimately go squirrel hunting or legitimately go rabbit hunting with dogs and stuff like that. Like I've been coon hunting. I did a lot of coon
Yeah,
hunting in high school with dogs, and that was like we were not good at it, but that
it's
was back in
fun.
my heathen days. We did a lot of things other than the coon hunting while we were coon hunting.
Yeah, we did
But
it. We did a squirrel hunting tournament one time when I was probably when I was 13 or 14, and like there's probably 50 people that enter in this thing. It's like big squirrel, most squirrel. It's like a coyote hunting tournament, but
yeah,
for squirrels. And I remember we got back and there's just hundreds of squirrels laying on the concrete, and it's a big giant fish fry after. And I was like, what? I was like, it'd be really hard for me to bring anybody that's only ever been even in Tulsa. If anyone, if they've never left Tulsa, and I brought them out to this, yeah, they'd be questioning some things for sure.
Yeah, that's one thing I really want to try is going and having some fried squirrel and stuff like that. I've never got to try it.
It's unbelievable.
I shot one once with my bow, and then I ended up leaving town for a couple days. It sat in the fridge. I got back, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not touching that." I threw away the whole Tupperware and everything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we had to move
So,
our baby shower because it opened up. We planned it on opening day squirrel season in Louisiana.
yeah,
They're like, you got to move this. Nobody's gonna be here. I'm like, why? They're like, it's squirrel season opens up. I'm like, y'all go chase those things around the trees, and they're like, oh yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it's Louisiana's a different level though, man. They'll eat anything.
Yep,
That's why, like,
yes.
one of my biggest clients at Crash Landing was from Louisiana. He's from some oil guys down in Thibodeau, but they came up one time and he brought some clients in there and he shoots a ringneck, and I'm like, great. So I send the dog, comes back. I was like, yeah, look what you, like, I was like, look what you did. You really, you gonna pick out of the 40 greenheads that just landed on the water? And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's the best tasting duck there is. I was like, hold on. I was like, there's no way you're about to tell me this ringneck's the best tasting duck. And then he like explains to me how he cooks it, and I was like, yeah, anything's gonna taste good when you put it in a roux for 12 hours. Like,
yeah.
any meat that you put in a pot with any type of gravy is gonna taste good after it cooks for 12 hours. And I couldn't get on board with the whole, what is it? What do they call it? Pool.
Poodles,
Yeah,
coots.
that's what he
Yeah,
called it. It was a pull.
So
Yeah,
is
he
that
called it a
that's
pool.
coot, isn't it?
I
yeah.
was like, oh god.
Oh, they eat those things like crazy, man. We got a buddy, me and Troy do that we hunt with every now and then in Nebraska, and he said shoot your limits. He said I'll want them all. I'll eat them all. I'm like, man,
There's the day before the split here in Arkansas. It was right before Christmas. It was like 80 degrees, and we went out to our place here. We got off work early and went out like 2 o'clock, and we shot 28 ringnecks. Yeah, it's the only ducks that were flying when it's 80 degrees outside.
yeah.
So shoot 28 ringnecks, and I have a stringer full of black ducks. I'm like, oh, I'm really gonna have to go through and clean all these, aren't I? So I did. It took a lot of. It was so fun. They sound like spaceships coming in. It's so fun, but it took a lot of strength for me to want to clean those. I can tell you that.
Now with being over there, kind of in the mecca of greenheads, edge of the Central and Louisiana flyway, is that your favorite duck, or do you have something else that you're favoring to chase after and hunt and eat and all that?
Killing a mallard's pretty hard to beat. I love wood ducks. I don't know why everyone hates on wood ducks sometimes, but dude, they're gorgeous. I love wood ducks. I killed a couple years ago. I killed my first band ever was a banded wood duck. So they've kind of had a soft spot in my heart since then. But I love wood ducks. I'm a huge widgeon guy. I love
Yeah.
widgeon because that was our bonus ducks in Western Oklahoma. Like it'd be like 5 mallards and a wood duck, or not wood duck, a widgeon. 5 mallards and a widgeon. That's or a pintail. It's pintail or widgeons are our only 2 bonus ducks out there. So I fell in love with how widgeon are so pretty too.
Yeah, that's everywhere I go. The first duck we shot when we were in Nebraska this year. We pull up, and I mean we're tired because we walked forever. Troy's like, hey, there's one right there, and I pull up and I shoot it. And it starts falling, and I'm like, you got to be joking me. He's like, what? I said, I just shot a wood duck. He's like, did you really? My dog picked it up, and I was like, I said, you know how many of these I shoot? I mean, I got a place in Louisiana where they pour in like mallards. It's a little pond that's probably, I don't know, maybe 100 by 30, and it's full of acorns. Like the trees, they just drop off the trees right there, and those ducks just pour in there, and there'll be like 100 of them pour in there in the morning time. So we go shoot a lot of wood ducks. And I'm like, I drove all the way to Nebraska and I shot a wood duck, my first duck, which I wasn't mad. I mean, I love wood ducks. I think they
Yeah.
taste better than most any duck out there. But
Yeah, I've had this year I was scouting and I ran into a 6-pack of cinnamon teal and I just was licking at the chops the whole time waiting for them. And of course just sitting in the middle of a sod farm after it rained. And once it dried up, I never saw them again. It was sad, but that's one of those times like, man, this 22, the silencer on it. I'm just kidding, but and the cinnamon teal are awesome. I love those things. So when I saw them like with my glasses, like with my glass for the first time, whew, it's like seeing your first like gobbler walking in all puffed up for the first time. And I was like, what I do to try to get to those. I mean, I tried to ask for permission. They weren't very friendly about it, but
yeah. So, are the cinnamon tail, are they fully plumed when they come through over in that area?
it was like first or second week of November when we like got a little bit of rain in Oklahoma, and they weren't really fully. I mean, they definitely looked good, but they were definitely not fully plumed.
Yeah,
but
I'm
they were
sure,
still
that's my big regret.
Very nice.
That's one of the deals around here about the blue wings. By the time they pass through, I mean, they're not anywhere near plumed out when they come through.
Yeah,
here.
like I've never killed a blue wing. They just don't come around here, or in Oklahoma at least. There's in teal season. There's a group of blue wings that sit on our place in Arkansas, and it's the only time I've really ever seen them. I've killed hundreds of green wings, but I've never had a group of blue wings come in.
Yeah, this last year I did pretty good on the blue wings during early teal, and then they're gone, and then I think I got one kind of later season blue wing teal, and it was kind of a weird deal. He was in with a group of with green wings, and I just picked him out. But that's the only one I see after early teal season. Even towards the last 2 days of early teal, it was turning into mostly green wing.
Yeah, I think my big one on my checklist right now is a storm widgeon though.
Oh, Blake got one here a couple years ago, and then I've never seen one since.
I've seen a few, and I'm saying all these rare ducks. We killed the rarest duck I've ever seen in my life 2.5 years ago. We shot a blonde mallard.
Oh, wow.
So, I didn't shoot it. I wish I would have, but seeing that, that was unreal. I'll send you guys a picture. It was crazy seeing, like, I was holding it and I was like, this is like a 1 in a million type of thing. That was the second one they've killed off that pond too. And
that's crazy.
Matter of 5 years.
At that point, you wonder if they're like, if it's like a mother or something.
Yeah, it's like blue. Like it's like a certain female, like a certain hen hatching.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I didn't kill her.
What do they call that? What is the word for that? That where they
blueprint.
Yeah, or kind of that instinct. There you go, instinctual
digital footprint. I think is what they've been calling it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, with everything through Hunt Digest, what's kind of been your favorite part so far? Maybe favorite story or favorite thing that you've kind of been exposed to through it as of yet?
I think the best thing I've been exposed to is just getting to talk to the different people I've gotten to talk to. I had a guy a couple weeks ago from Sweden send me a picture of him pigeon hunting. So like stuff like that, just the interactions I get to have with all kinds of people across the country is pretty crazy. My favorite story, there's a few for sure, but I think there was one I posted not too long ago, and it was make sure I say this correctly, but it was about a guy and his dog, and his dog had passed away, and he took a picture of his dog on his last hunt, and I got to listen. He sends me this super long story, and sometimes the stories are too long for Instagram captions, so I'm like, hey, do you mind if I summarize this and send it back to you? And I summarized it, sent it back to him, and he was like, man, that made me tear up. Like, he was like, just reading my own story back to myself summarized. It's getting to showcase that for people, those bright moments. Um, it's a sad moment, but a happy moment for him in a sense of like, I got, my dog's legacy lives on, kind of a thing. And getting to do that, given some people that, I wouldn't even say exposure, but just the chance to tell their side of things it's awesome.
Yes, sir. Now, with your website, are you kind of posting fuller stories and stuff like that? Is kind of what you're moving into, or tell
Yeah,
us a little bit more
so
about that.
kind of what I'm starting. Oh, sorry. Kind of what I'm starting to lean towards is I'm interviewing. Like I'll interview so and so, and I'll be like, I'll have a list of interview questions, and tell me how you got your start. Kind of a podcast, kind of blog type of interview
Mhm.
questions, and then I write out my article over them, and then I kind of just like give a brief gist of the article, post the article in the caption, and post their picture, and click here. That's my goal. I'm doing it all myself. Like making the website all myself, so I'm like actively
Mhm.
learning how to code and do all of it. So definitely learning some learning experiences. Um, but that's what I'm kind of starting to lean towards, just being able to. I like writing, so being able to write about people and then getting traction over to my website is nice, because I think my ultimate goal would definitely be like to do runs of like limited edition magazines of like best stories of the year, best pictures of the year, things like that. Where Field and Stream's coming back now, um, pretty heavily, and so
They're doing a lot of video series stuff and
yeah,
kind of
and
the origin story stuff too, as well.
like I remember a few years ago when vinyl records came back on the scene like crazy, and everybody was on a record player and wanted to buy up all the vinyl records. And in my head, I kind of start seeing that with like collectible magazines in my head. So doing like limited edition magazines, doing contest winners for like front page, photo submissions for front page, things like that is something where I feel like I can grow Hunt Digest and make it a community to where it's kind of like a Sika diver, the Diverge contest, things like that. I've dove into so many different ideas, but that's kind of where I'm headed right now.
Okay. Did you have any
That's
kind of
awesome.
background in like writing or interviewing, anything along those lines before this?
No, I didn't. I honestly I can talk to a brick wall. So it's I've never been. I What has helped me tremendously, and I said this last time I was on a podcast too, but I saw a quote a while ago, and it said, "Embarrassments and underexplored motion. Go out there and embarrass yourself." It was the quote, and that really hit hard for me. It's like, well, I'm such a person. I'm such a people pleaser. I care what people think about me, and it kind of just like, you know, if I go out there and interview somebody, like I don't, I'm never gonna see this person again, or like I don't have to interact with like, and that's kind of gone out the window. So being able to like just be myself and go out there and do it has helped a lot.
Yes, sir. Now, you were kind of going into what you're some stuff that you're working on and wanting to move towards. Is there anything in the works currently, big project, or are you mostly focusing on the website and kind of launching that and getting
Yeah,
that momentum
there's
growing?
a I got a couple big projects. The website is live right now and has a few articles on it and some pictures. Some big things I'm working on. I wish I had it with me and I'd show you guys. I'm planning on launching my first merch line here soon. Um, Kind of it's my logo is pretty simple. And that's another thing, like with the contests and stuff that I'd like to get into is like do special edition runs with companies and go into like a outfitter for the weekend and do the interviews and write the story about them and do like, well, this month's collab is me and so outfitter,
Hmm.
and it's a hat and shirt collab or whatever that is. So like I'm all in on like on doing stuff with people. Like anything to do with like working with other people, I'm in. I'm not like, if I can help someone else grow, or if someone else can help me grow, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
So that's a big project I'm working on is just my merch and my website right now is a big thing.
Hmm. Now, are you doing that all yourself, or yeah? I'm assuming, kind of from just
Yeah,
talking to you a little bit, it seems like you're pretty well do it yourself kind of guy, and explore that
yeah.
and get good at it.
I've I created my logo. Um, I trademarked it pretty quickly. Um, so making my own logo is a big thing for me. Because I wanted something that was mine.
Mhm.
I have a couple buddies that have worked in the t-shirt and stuff industry, so they've been able to help me kind of get
Oh,
an idea of
that's helpful.
what I want to do. Um, and definitely like I won't be able to print it myself. I'll pay somebody to do that, but definitely the outline and ideas of what I want to do for sure. Because like the designs and stuff, I'd like it to be pretty original when it comes to shirt designs and logos and things. So I've been working a lot on that myself. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's one crazy thing that we've learned is there is so much to all this. You can do it all on your own, but man, there is a huge learning curve, and it is very intensive, very quickly.
Yeah,
A
and
lot of time and
like
effort. I mean, this is, I'm sure for you as well. Like it takes on almost a second job kind of commitment.
yeah, it's been it's been kind of slow for me the past month or so because I graduate from college in a month and 2 days, and I work full time. So working full time and doing school full time and trying to do this, so it's been really hard to juggle. And I'm hoping after I graduate here soon that I'll kind of get some more time freed up and get get a little more honed in on it. No excuses though, but gotta make time for it somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I guess one of my questions are, and we really never had like a straight waterfowl guide that's done for a big organization.
Mm-hmm.
We've had Tyler on here, and he's in Nebraska and he does all different kinds. What I guess what makes you appreciate the hunting, the duck hunting more after being a guide? Like what has it opened your eyes up to more and made you appreciate more? Not, and I guess it's
Yeah.
not even duck hunting. It could be hunting in general.
What has made me appreciate hunting in general more after being a guide definitely is getting to see people do it for the first time. Um, we had a lot of our guys are coming from Louisiana, South Carolina, Michigan, places where waterfowl isn't as prevalent anymore, or Georgia is another big one people would come from. Um, and their appreciation for hunting is so heightened compared to my head. Like they'd go out there, they kill 12 greenheads, and there's six of them and two guides, and they kill 12 greenheads, and they're on top of this world. But if it was me and six of my buddies that were out there, I'd be like, we've been scouting this pond for 10 days. There's 3,000 on it yesterday, and so the little subtleties to hunting that I took for granted, I think, is what being a guide made me see and appreciate more. And another thing is like doing it for work is a lot different than doing it for fun. Sometimes you lose the fun in it while doing it for work, so you have to find creative ways to appreciate it more as as a guide rather than the person hunting. So getting to appreciate the space from a working side of it, a working relationship side of it, and a passion and doing it for fun side of it, really brought my hunting views very very much more humbled than they were before.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's a big thing. I've always wondered. 'Cause I mean, we know a bunch of guides and stuff, and I know a bunch of guys that by the end of the season they're like, all right, like season's right here, we're almost done. Like I'm happy to see this, and it feels like
Oh,
they get burnt out because I mean
you
there
you do,
there is a
and
lot
like
of
that
time that
last
goes
week is
into it.
terrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah, that.
road time,
Sorry, go
and
ahead.
I mean, y'all are up way earlier than the clients are because you got to get out to the field and
Yeah,
set up
like
and stuff
if
like
you're not
that.
guiding, you're scouting. So like if you're not taking clients on a hunt, you're on the road looking for ducks. And especially in western Oklahoma, like it's so spread out. My last year I put like almost 20,000 miles on my truck in a duck
Wow.
season.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
and that's November 1st to February 1st. And
Yeah.
it's a lot when it comes to like, you're especially when it comes down to like, so a client comes in, you hunt with them for 3 days, you drop them off at the airport, then in turn you pick clients right back up again, and you're like, all right, let me put on this game face again. Time, it's time to entertain.
Yeah.
So it's definitely exhausting when it comes to that because like you're always in people pleaser mode.
Yeah.
Um, and I was very lucky with Crash Landing on how well that they treated us, and the luxuries that we had. We had a chef, we had our own place to sleep, our own lodge separate from our clients. Um, we didn't pay for gas. So like the luxuries that we had there, it helped it ease it. But definitely by that last week of season, you're like, all right, we got one group coming in. But then we hunted with guys that come in, like Brantley Gilbert came and hunted with us one time. And it's like you get to meet all these cool people. Barstool Outdoors came and hunted with us. I got to meet Sydney Wells.
Wow.
Dylan Marlowe comes and hunts with us, and will do a concert for us. So like it's the give and take is definitely there when it comes to a bigger outfit because you get to meet so many cool people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's like any job. There's days that you love it and days that you're like, man, what else can I do with my life?
Especially when you're not killing ducks, it's the worst. Because like
Oh, I can
when
imagine.
the clients complain like, hey, like what's going on, and it's so hard. Like I try my best to explain. Like I don't know that if you realize like I want to kill ducks probably more than you do.
Yeah.
Like like getting to watch you kill ducks is just as fun to me as actually shooting them. So I promise you, we're doing our absolute best. But at the end of the day, I'm hunting a bird that migrates.
Yes. And that's one thing that I've always looked at it that is like, man, the amount of pressure that must be on someone. Because I mean, just even you invite a buddy out like that drives up or something like that, or like we take our trips. It's like, man, we
Yeah,
are all like, oh, if we don't get the birds, was this even worth it? Just the amount of money we put into
with
that
the
to sell
weather.
or
Yeah,
to freelance it, much less someone that's going to come pay for it. And you're like, man, if they're not here, I imagine that pressure's pretty
yeah,
astounding.
especially in Oklahoma, man. There's no rules in Oklahoma, like guiding wise. There's not. I think they just implemented a guide license after I got out. I'm not 100% sure on that, but like it's the Wild Wild West out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the blood in the Crips sometimes when you're going up
Yeah.
and trying to get like you walk up to a house. Oh, this place already this guide service already contacted me. They're willing to pay this, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I'll be honest. There's enough ducks on it. I'll pay this. Like what do I got to
Yeah.
do? And you're bargaining because like and it's a huge payday. Like if there's a good duck season, those farmers are making consistent good money, and that helps them. So yes, I feel like it is getting out of control how much leases are and how much people are paying to kill ducks. I do agree that it's getting out of hand on where that's going, but at the same time, when I was doing it, I was like, man, like this guy's soybeans are trash this year. This check is going to help him, get through Christmas or whatever it is. And so you find to shed light in it. But I definitely think there needs to be some regulations on some of the guiding stuff, especially when it comes to like the big corporations have such an established footprint there, but like anyone can just start a guide service like 100 and, I'm charging $100 a gun today. Well,
Yeah.
they're not including lodging, they're not including anything. We have a massive lodge. We have a wetland in the back where you watch ducks land when you come back after killing ducks. You have a chef that's making you breakfast, lunch, dinner. You have it's the experience is worth it in my eyes. So I feel like there needs to be a little bit of regulations when it comes to that. But and the clients are so fun too. Like there's not anything to do in Blackwell, Oklahoma, where crash landing is, but there's a place called it's called the Hub. It's a casino movie theater, bowling alley. It's all in one. It's awesome. But we would always take our clients there, and they had they get to gamble and have a blast. But it's definitely an experience. It's wild.
Yes, sir. That's awesome to hear. Now, with Hunt Digest, is there like any one major goal that you hope that you can achieve through it? I guess I'd say.
Impact as many people as I can. I don't want to be known for my name. I want it to be known for Hunt Digest. I don't want to become popular off of it. I want the page and what is about to become popular. That's my biggest goal. Obviously, I have to put myself out there to promote it, so I get attached with it. But I'm not looking to get popular off of it. I want it, the meaning and the story behind what it is to be what gets popular. I would probably say my ultimate, like, my dream interview. I dream to sit down with Steven Ranella one day, and I know it probably won't happen, but that's like my number one would definitely be that.
Yes, sir. Now, how are you kind of sourcing your stuff? Are people kind of coming to you? Are you going out looking for something specific, or just
Both.
a bit of both?
Both. It depends what I'm looking for. Like right now, I got a lot of turkey posts, so I was reaching out to some people to see if they had any turkey posts, or pictures. But a lot of them are sent to me. Sometimes I kind of have to explain to them, like, hey, love the picture. Tell me everything that happened that took to get the picture. And some people don't want to write a story. Some people just want me to post their picture. And a lot of people don't understand that I'm not charging to put them on my page. Like, because there's a lot of those outdoor pages like, pay me $50, I'll promote your page. Like, you'll get this many likes. Like, so sometimes I'm like, I promise I'm legit. I'll even like, here's my phone number. Like, you can call me. Let's have a conversation before we do anything. Like, let me understand who you are, so you don't think I'm just, a nobody. But it's a little both. I've had more people reach out than me reach out, but it's a little both, especially when it comes like when I'm trying to get like I say higher echelon, but like someone that has a little bit more status. Obviously, are going to reach out to me, so I reach out to them with a message and talk to them. Like Bo with his stuff, he's insane. I've talked to him. He's a super nice guy. Things like that. So it's definitely a challenge when it comes to some stuff of trying to show my validity in the space.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we do the same thing. I mean, we had Migration Waterfowl on, and we kind of reached out to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
have
him on my page too.
He's a great guy, and we love talking to him. We still talk to him off and on all the time. But it's like, if we could put somebody that has a lot of followers and you at least get one podcast in with someone that's got a lot of followers, it's very well known, it's a very good hunter and Christian and everything else. It helps us, but it also helps him too, because
like I've talked to him. He sent me a post of him and his buddies hunting in the mountains, and then I just talked to the Big Honker guys. So excited to maybe get to work with them soon. So, and they're some great guys. Cool. I watch all their stuff.
Yes, sir. Well, that's exciting stuff. And then you said the website's kind of your main focus now.
Yeah, it'll, you guys can go to it. It's just thehuntdigest.com. Huntdigest.com was up for sale for $5,000. The Hunt Digest was $12. So I chose the Hunt Digest. That was a pretty easy choice for me. But other than that, yeah, it's the Hunt Digest on all the socials. It's just me. I say we, but it's just me. I'm on my phone all the time, so I'm doing my main job. I work 6 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday. Other than that, I'm either doing school or working on Hunt Digest. So, and it's nice with my job now is I kind of work not in the hunting industry, but we manufacture bullets. So it's nice to get to meet some of those companies too. It's a grind to try to network all the time, but it's fun at the same time.
Yeah. And how are you handling first off season? I mean, I know you've got turkey and stuff like that, so I mean that's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
kicking up, but it's kind of coming into a lot of the off season outside of turkey.
yeah. I think my goal in the off season is I've actually thought about bridging into maybe some getting in some fishing stuff. Um, I have some of the salt marsh guys sent me a cooler, and they have they fish down in Florida a lot, so excited to work with them on some stuff. But really, I I'm very blessed for some of the people I met at Crash Landing and some of the connections I got to make with people like Ed Wall or Owen Axley or some of these guys that are very upper echelon of photography or in the hunting industry. Um, so I've made a lot of connections to where I think the off season is definitely time for me to grow, but I don't want it to become a lull. Is my goal.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a difficult thing to navigate of keeping your identity, or do you expand and kind of encompass some other stuff, or do you just stick true to what you kind of started with, and
Yeah.
that everyone, in what we're doing and what you're doing is, I'm sure, struggles with, especially for you and like us kind of being our first go at this as well.
Yeah, it's it's a lot like golf in my eyes sometimes. Like I hate it some days and I absolutely love it some days.
Yeah.
It's like walking through a minefield sometimes with some of the people you talk to. Um, there's a lot of people with a lot of strong values and views and opinions of newcomers and things like that. So navigating around, trying to be as respectful as possible while at the same time trying to grow my brand and what I'm doing,
Mhm.
has definitely been a learning experience.
Yes, sir. Yeah, me and my wife talking the other day. I was like, I love winter because of hunting season, but as soon as like January's over, I'm like, I hate winter. I'm ready for spring and fishing
Yeah,
and everything else.
it,
I'm like,
it's
man, how am I
it's.
going to navigate that this year?
Oh, I know.
Me and Blake
It
are
was
like, what do
tough.
we
Like
do?
that first 80-degree day when I got to wear flip flops and I cracked open a beer in the backyard. I was like, this is hard to beat. This is hard to beat. But yeah, no, I'm definitely ready to go on the lake this summer. So
Yeah, that's what I'm a terrible fisherman, but like generally I just go out and like chill out and listen to music on my kayak and stuff like that. My wife's
yeah,
like, "You never catch anything." I'm like, after the first 15 minutes of me not catching anything, my pole's usually not even in the water, but I'm just like, "Hey,
yeah,
let's go paddle over here and look at this."
I got my turtle box cranking, and I don't got really care else in the world except I'm on the water. So
Yes, sir. Well, was there anything else you kind of wanted to cover tonight, or plug or
no,
anything along those lines?
I want to I obviously, like I said, Hunt Digest on all platforms. I have a TikTok, a Facebook. Every Instagram post goes on Facebook. Trying to navigate the TikTok thing, but posting on every single social every time I post is hard. So I've
Yes.
tried to keep up with TikTok. I have a Twitter account. Don't use it. X, I should say. I don't know, but definitely check me out, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
it's
yeah.
super fun. It's super fun to connect to people around the industry. And if you guys ever swing your way around to Oklahoma, give me a text. See if we can get you guys on some birds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
we're
great,
really
man.
not
We
that
appreciate.
far. I mean, Troy's not that far from you, and
Yeah, I guess that's true. You're probably what, 5 hours?
Yeah, maybe if that.
Yeah, Louisiana's really not that far. It's probably like
it's
8.
not really. I think I can
It's
make it
not
to
that bad.
Oklahoma City in like 7 hours. I think it's what it took me to
Yeah,
get to Oklahoma City when we went to Nebraska. So
I run into too many people from Louisiana on public ground in Oklahoma. I was like, it ain't got to be that long of a trip to come up here. Like, you ain't no water, but they'll up here.
yeah.
Yes.
I like this year. I got socked in the face from an out of state hunter this year at a boat ramp.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
It was unbelievable.
We've
I was just
we've
trying to
been
offer
lucky
the
enough
guy
not
help,
to
and he
run in.
flipped out on me.
Yeah, we've been lucky enough not to run into that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only ran into that one problem when we were duck hunting. A airboat was coming into our spot. We got there really early, and
Uh,
it was his spot. And I'm like, no, it's
yeah.
public land. This is our spot. He almost ran our boats over.
And I try to tell
It
people I'm the least confrontational person I know. Like I take my wallet, whatever you want, and I was literally just offering this guy help, and I guess he just had a bad day. He wasn't having it, I guess. But
mm,
yeah.
gave me a shiner. But no, I appreciate you guys
mm.
having me on and taking the time to talk to me, and I'm looking forward to keep in touch with you guys.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
definitely. Like I said, thank you for coming on. It was a blast. I'm sure we could sit here and talk for several hours more.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate everyone tuning in again, and we will see y'all next week.